This video response is going to go out to Franz Vlogs. It's also going to go out to JAQK55. And I'm going to answer his question first because that answer is going to lead to the answer I give to Franz Vlogs. Okay, so what did JAQK55 have to ask me? He asked me, why do you make so many videos? Well, first of all, I wanted to let you guys know, as if many of my students already know this, I am a data processor. That means that I'm good at two things. One, multitasking. I can clean a sink load full of dishes while at the same time as drying laundry. And yes, if I had a Roomba, I could dust shelves while sweeping the floor. Of course, I don't have a Roomba, so I can't do that, but if I did, I would. Okay? I also can take a telephone call while having a conversation over Facebook. I can have a conversation with 2 to 3 people at the same time. I'm very good at things like that. I'm also very good at flowcharting. That means I can take a certain point, lead it to another point, lead it to another point, and therefore leading to the main conclusion. I'm good at things like that. Now then, why do I make so many videos? Let me ask you a question. Why don't more people ask me the very question you just asked me? Here's another question for you. If people are wondering about something like that, why don't they ever go to my main channel page and read my mission statement, where I say that I'm a photo specialist and a data processor, and that my mission is to help people facing eviction, starvation, and bullyism. Okay? Why don't people do that? I don't know. But I will tell you this. I don't look at the world through rose-colored glasses, and that's the first link you're going to find down here is a description of what rose-colored glasses is all about. But for a basic definition, that means, I guess I'll give it to you basically an example. Let's say you're outside, you have a video camera, and you're videotaping a tornado. Now somebody wearing rose-colored glasses would say, oh, that tornado's not going to hit me. I'll just videotape it, it'll just move right on by. A person who is a realist like myself would say, okay, I hope this tornado's not going to hit me, but if it tries to come after me, I have a tornado shelter 5 feet away. I can dive into it and save my own skin. So when the tornado comes too close, I dive in, lock the door, and the tornado doesn't hit me. And I'm fine. But I get some incredible footage while I'm doing it. That's the difference between people with rose-colored glasses and realists. Of course, realists are optimistic, but they're also well prepared. That's the difference. Okay? Now then, if I'm trying to help people facing eviction, starvation, and bullyism, then that means that I know something about eviction, starvation, and bullyism. Well, I know about bullyism because I faced 8 years of it. But if you want to know about eviction and starvation, I have a link down below that is from the National Alliance to End Homelessness. I'd like for you to read it. Let me tell you something. Everybody should be concerned about homelessness. Why? Because the people who are facing homelessness and starvation have to also face the embarrassment of both. It's a horrible embarrassment to live with. It's not bad enough that you don't have a home. It's not bad enough you're starving to death, but you also have that social reputation that's being downgraded on a regular basis. You're being shunned on a regular basis. That's pretty bad. But what about the people on the opposite end, the ones that are trying to help out those that are facing eviction and starvation? Well, I believe in give a man a fish and he eats for a day. Teach him how to fish and he eats for a lifetime. I don't mind helping people once in a while, but I don't want them returning to my doorstep day after day. That creates a financial hardship for me. So it is as much in my best interest, because I'm on the one end of the scale, to help these people out, as it is for the other side, because they want to end the embarrassment, they want to end the starvation, they want to end the homelessness. So everybody benefits from what I'm doing. The number one reason people are facing eviction, starvation, and bullyism is because of lack of education. That's it. Now the problem comes in that colleges today are so expensive. Even community colleges are so expensive, and when the Pell Grant runs out, you're done. See what I mean? So my channel is trying to bridge the gap between these people who are facing eviction, starvation, and bullyism, and the education they so desperately need to get out of those situations. Now, what about the situation of bullyism? Well, I'm going to do what Megan Parkin did not do in the video that I responded to. That's right, I made a response video to Megan Parkin, which, by the way, I owe her an apology. One apology. I got her name wrong. I had the notes prepared long before I had to work a horrible shift, but when I actually made the video, I had made the video after I worked the horrible shift, so I was tired, and I misread her name on YouTube, and for that, I do apologize. So I can be wrong too. Okay, so getting that out of the way, I'm going to do what Megan Parkin should have done in her video and say that I'm going to have an in-depth discussion of a movie called Social Nightmare. It was on the Lifetime Network. And I'm going to talk about this later on in my video because I don't want to detract from what I'm going to say next. Okay? So, if you want to stay tuned for that, you can go ahead and do so, but right now we're going to talk about something else. Alright, so if the problem with these people facing bullyism, eviction, and starvation is education, then my channel is the perfect way for them to get it. I provide a lot of education. Go to my main channel page, you see tons of playlists. That ought to tell you the whole story. Okay. Now then, I was told by a YouTube user to educate and win. I was also told by a couple of college kids who watched some of my videos and said, you know what, I see a couple of problems with your videos. The first is your videos aren't interactive enough, and number two, you're not clearly stating your purpose to your videos before you do what you do. And that's what's causing a lot of people not to like you. So I corrected those mistakes. So see, again, I can make mistakes too. My mistake was in my presentation. So I altered my presentation. The first thing I did in my videos was I asked people, and I'm going to pull this up in just a second here. I asked people, and I'm going to go ahead and talk to you while I pull this up. But anyway, I asked people why they watched particular videos, and more importantly, what did they learn from watching those videos? And you say, well, why would you ask people stuff like that? Well, there's a very good reason. Have anybody here heard of YouTube Analytics? If you haven't, well, I'm going to introduce you now to YouTube Analytics. Alright? Now, I can't show you everything, but what I can do is I can show you a little something here. Bear with me. I'd like to welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to YouTube Analytics. This graph shows me when a person watches your video, do they watch the whole video or do they watch just part of it? This graph shows me whether they've watched just part of my video or the whole video. Now, it doesn't show me who watched it, but it does show me from what region they watched it. If they watched it from California, I know they watched 1 minute and 16 seconds of my video. If they watched it from New York, that means they've only watched a minute of my video. Now, this particular video, SD-RAM versus DDR-RAM, was 1.5 minutes long. So if they've only watched 53 seconds of it, that means that they didn't watch the whole video. And I can tell things like that. So, I've been watching these analytics. And because of that, I've been figuring out that not everybody has been watching all of my video. They just watch a certain section of it and draw up conclusions. They don't learn everything. And I can tell this. through the analytics. The thing is, I wonder if Megan Parkin also knows about this, because if she did, I would wonder why she never asked her viewers what they actually learned from her videos. Why didn't she ask her viewers why they watch her videos in the first place? See what I mean? That's something I would ask if I'm seeing that not all of my videos are being watched all the way through. I would be asking, why aren't you watching all of my video, and are you learning anything from my videos? I would ask. Matter of fact, I am asking. What do you guys actually learn from my videos? And how much of them do you actually watch? Because like I said, I can't tell exactly who's watching, but I can tell you from what region they're watching from. Now this kind of leads me into my next point. After I altered my presentations to ask people why they watch certain videos and how much of those videos did they actually watch and what they learned from them, I then also informed these people that employers are reading their comments. When you leave a comment on a public video, the employers read those. And they make determinations about you based on the comments that you leave. And that's where the third link's going to come down to. That's right. I know it's from Fox News, and I know a lot of people object to Fox News, but I don't care. The point is, this time they're absolutely right. If you go to tip number 4, keep language and grammar in mind, you will read down here that employers are reading your comments on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and YouTube, amongst others. And whatever they read, they determine whether they want to hire you or not. I am seeing far too many jobs being exported out of this country and too few of them being imported into this country. That's got to stop. And that's why I tell people, I'm evaluating your comments because employers are doing the same thing. I'm not here to be hypercritical of you. I'm trying to get you to improve yourself so that you'll get a higher paying job. It's not just a matter of getting you a job. I'd like to see you get a job that pays $15 to $25 an hour. And you don't have to go on strike like they do at McDonald's. All you have to do is improve your education and you got it. I even went to the trouble of making 4 proofreading videos, which I am more than happy to make more of them if you need me to. So you could improve your skills, make better comments, which will get you into higher paying jobs. I want to do that for you. And I clearly stated that in every one of my videos since I've been talking to these college kids. So in no way am I being cruel. Matter of fact, quite the opposite. What I'm trying to do is be your cheerleader, your coach. And say, hey, let's motivate you to do better so that you get those higher paying jobs. Because that's exactly what I want you to do. It's in your best interest and it's in mine at the same time. Because it keeps the embarrassment away from you and the hardship, the financial hardship from me. So it benefits both of us. And I like benefiting everybody, including myself. See what I mean? So that's why I do the videos that I do. Kind of a nice guy, aren't I? Now then, that should pretty much answer Fran's vlogs. But if it doesn't, then I will say this. I actually had a comment sent to me, and I'm sure that this person, and her name is Alicia James Scott, I'm sure she was not aware, and she didn't listen carefully enough to what I was doing. She was not aware that I was trying to be a motivationalist. I'm also well aware that she didn't know about the National Alliance to End Homelessness. She didn't know anything about rose-colored glasses. She didn't know that employers were reading social media. I'm sure she didn't know any of this stuff. Because I seriously doubt she would have left a comment like this, which I'm going to read to you, had she known all this. It is the very reason why I responded back to her and was asking her if she was trying to be a parent and if she was trying to say that people couldn't make decisions for themselves. This comment spawned my comment. And I'm going to read this to you so you understand why I said what I said. And none of Megan's subscribers need to explain themselves to you. Well, they don't have to, but they can if they so desire. And who are you to tell them that they can't? If you watch Megan's videos, you would know exactly who Ron Pope is. That would mean I'd have to watch all 500 of her videos to find out. She doesn't have a specific video that says, this is Ron Pope, and this is what he does, and da-da-da-da-da. She doesn't. And if she does, and I'm wrong, you can leave a link right down here. I'll be happy to watch it, and I'll evaluate it for myself. I am more than happy to evaluate things like that. I'm more than happy to admit my mistakes. As you've seen, I made a couple of them. And I admitted I was wrong, and I fixed them. Okay. And then she says, but you don't. You watch one and make a hate video. Hate? I made a motivational video, not a hate video. I wasn't criticizing these people to put them down. I was trying to bring them up. Exactly the opposite. And then she calls me a cyberbully. Name one spot in that video where I ever cyberbullied anybody. I clearly stated that I was trying to get you people into higher paying jobs. I'm very concerned about that. I wouldn't go to this kind of effort if I wasn't that concerned. You know, I could counter myself and say to Alicia James Scott that she is being a censor. She's trying to censor me. I could do that. I'm not going to, but I could do that. The point of the matter is, I just don't think Alicia James Scott truly understood and comprehended what I was trying to do. Had she done so, I don't think she would have said any of this. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Now, I tried to make this video earlier, but I was like, you know what? If I show the same kind of anger in my video response as what she showed in this comment, I'd be no better than her. And I don't want to come off as some angry ogre. I just want to stick to the facts. The fact of the matter is that a lot of people are facing eviction, starvation, and bullyism, and I don't want to see any more people like Amanda Todd die. And I don't want to see anybody else starving to death, and I don't want to see anybody else being homeless, and I don't want to see anybody trying to beg me for bread. That's what I did all this for. It's as much in my interest as it is in yours. That's why I do these videos. Hopefully, if Alicia James Scott decides to ever watch this, I don't know if she will or not, maybe she'll change her mind about me. I doubt it, but she might. She might. And if she has more constructive ways for me to do what I'm trying to do, that's fine. But let me tell you this, that if I don't stir the pot just a little bit, I'm never going to get to the people that really need my help the most. I can stand here and flatter thousands of people on a regular basis. Then I have 1,000 flattery videos. And for what? Most of them will probably ignore that anyway. Stirring the pot a little bit has gotten me 641 subscribers. And that's a fact. Now, I don't mind being more clerical. I have no problem with that. But on the other hand, I'd like for some of these people to be a little more understanding and understand I'm not trying to be your enemy. I'm trying to motivate you, and I'm trying to assist you. Let me tell you a couple other facts that you probably don't know. Number one, there are proofreading apps that you can download on your smartphone, which you can throw your comments into before you send them out on the internet. That would make you sound smarter. You can learn those proofreading videos that I taught, and that will make you sound smarter. As a matter of fact, you can incorporate that into your life, which will make you a better person. I will also say that when employers stand there and they read your comments, if they know about proofreading apps, they'll just say, well, you're so dang lazy not to put your comments in a proofreading app before sending it out on the internet. Well, that doesn't reflect too well on us because you'll probably be lazy on our sales floor. That's one thing. If they don't know about these proofreading apps and they don't work smartphones on a regular basis, they'll just say, well, you're undereducated. You can't read, you can't write, you can't think analytically. So when we design our technical manuals, we have to spend a lot of money designing technical manuals to train you, because we first have to train you how to read, write, and be analytical. And that's expensive. It's expensive to train a new employee. But add that additional expense and you've really got a problem. Of course they're not going to hire you. And if you use expletives on a regular basis, you know what they're going to say? I'm going to tell you exactly what they're going to say. If you're using expletives on social media like that, there's a good chance you're going to do it on our sales floor, and we don't want it there. So they don't hire you. These are things people don't know. And that's why I tell you in videos like this. Now, do you see why it pays to watch the whole thing and grasp all these comments and concepts? Now, if you people have better suggestions for me, I am more than I have my ears wide open. But we have to act quickly. In 2009, when I started my channel, unemployment wasn't this high, and people weren't starving like they are today, so on and so forth. But it's happening now. And if we don't do something soon, the government's going to run out of money, and we're going to have a lot of problems in the United States. This has literally become a matter of life and death. And if I don't get out to the people, and I don't get out to them quickly enough, we're going to have a problem. Can I do this all by myself? No, not really. But I'm going to try. Because I'm answering the call of John F. Kennedy when he says, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. I've asked, I'm doing. That's the truth. Now then, one final point. There was this movie called Social Nightmare. I watched the whole thing. Okay? Now, here's what I would suggest. At the first sign of internet trouble, here's what I would do. I would take my laptop and my smartphone, hand it to just one person, nobody else, and say, hey, whether it be a parent, whether it be a best friend, doesn't matter. You hand it to one person and say, hey, I'm pulling myself off the net. I'm going to disappear from the internet. And if these attacks continue to happen, then we'll know, then the police will know that somebody else is doing this besides me because I disappeared. And you keep real silent about it. You tell that one person, you swear them to secrecy. You say, don't tell anybody I've climbed off the net. And if you find out that they blabbed that you were off the net, then that's not your real friend. Then the police can go after them instead of you. Say, well, this person blabbed I was off the internet. That probably is the person who's been posing as me on the internet. See what I mean? And if the post kept coming through, even though you were completely off the internet, you weren't sending anything, then the police can then trace the IP address and find out who it was doing. See what I mean? It'd be real easy to trace. At the first sign of trouble, you drop off the net completely. Bye, adios. No Facebook, no nothing, just disappear. If the trouble continues after that, you can tell the police, well, I've disappeared off the internet, now go find out who in the thunder's posing as me. That's how you stop a problem like that. Disappear. I know it's a hardship, but disappear. A couple of days later, they'll nail the guy. Or gal, either one. Then the nightmare will stop. Might take a week, might take two. Who cares? After about a couple of weeks, the nightmare will stop. And that's how you stop nightmares like that. It's foolproof. So, you say, well, how is this so foolproof when you drop off the net that people will stop posting as you? Well, because they'll still think you're on the internet even though you're not. Because if you only tell one person that you've dropped off the internet and nobody else, poof. See what I mean? it's foolproof. Okay, so hopefully I've educated you people. Hopefully I have won this little debate. Hopefully you guys have learned a lot from me. And I hope you take advantage of my services, and I hope you spread them around so that people will benefit. I did this intentionally to help people. I want to reach the people I'm wanting to reach. And if you have better ways for me to do it, I'm more than happy to listen. But so far I have found that this seems to be the only effective way to get my name out there, and to hope that people will realize what I'm really trying to do and get the help they need before it's too late. Anyway, I don't make hate videos and I don't cyberbully people. Matter of fact, to be honest with you, if I send a video to somebody once and they delete it, I never go back to them. The reason for that is because it's a complete waste of my time and theirs. I just don't do that on a regular basis. I'm not that mean. When it came to people like Crazy Bad Magician and the Dragonfly 431 and all that other stuff, I only responded to them because they kept responding to me. Had they just dropped off, I wouldn't have responded further. So that's it. I'm done. They were still trying to pick a fight with me. And at the end, because I saw that there was no good resolution to it, I finally just blocked them off and said, I'm done with the arguments. You know, at a certain point, I will drop an argument because it's pointless to fight that kind of stuff. Then I go back to my lab and I try to find some better way to solve a situation. Yeah, I do a lot of research too. That's why sometimes it takes me a long time to make videos. Anyway, I don't want to make this video more long and drawn out and boring than it already is. Hopefully you guys watched the whole presentation. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the comments section below. I will tell you more in a future video, so stay tuned.